Hey dancers, I'm Liz, and today's YouTube videos are all about strengthening the hip flexors. So a couple months ago, someone came to me with a question of how do I stop gripping my quads when I'm doing a front or side extension? And as we know, a lot of our teachers will tell us that we need to really engage the back of our legs and lift the back of our legs. And often what happens is that we don't know how to use those muscles and we end up just gripping our quad muscles, which are the muscles of the front of our legs. And what that does is it definitely shortens your flexibility and doesn't allow you to get your leg up as high as we possibly want it. So what needs to happen is we have to strengthen the other muscles that help us, and those include our abductors, our turnout muscles, our inner thigh muscles, and also our hip flexor muscles. Once we've got all three of those muscles kind of working together, we then can allow our quad muscle to relax a little bit and just lengthen and just be there to support against gravity rather than being the primary mover. So I've got 3 exercises for you thanks to my assistant Dana, and hopefully these exercises will help you. You can also read more about this on my blog at www.lizbdance.com. In our first exercise, we are using a TheraBand. You can get these pretty much anywhere, any sporting goods store, but we're using a light resistance TheraBand. We don't want anything too heavy here. We're just tying it in a knot around our ankles, just with a little bit of room, so not too tight. We're stepping on one side with our supporting legs. We're stepping on one side of the band, leaving the other around our ankle, and then standing in parallel, taking our heel out in front, and then just lifting and bending the knee up towards the ceiling, and then bringing the heel right back down, keeping the working leg out in front of us. You can also do this turned out in front and here as demonstrated to the side. So it's coming from first position and then just hinging from the hips, lifting the knee straight up to the ceiling, bringing the heel right back down to the floor. And again, this can be done parallel, front, or turned out to the front and side. In our next exercise, we are lying on the floor on our back and we are very slowly doing basically our grand battements. So we're focusing on keeping the supporting leg, the hamstring engaged down into the floor, keeping our turnout. So again, engaging our abductors and using the turnout and the inner thigh, and then very slowly lengthening and lifting our leg towards the ceiling, and then pressing in. This is a great exercise to really find out where they're gripping and at the moment of, and really how to engage. Of course, the more you engage your turnout right there at the point when it's almost about halfway up, the better off this will be. And you can just continue to do this very slowly up and then back down. Last exercise is kind of the same thing as what we were doing on the floor, but this is a little bit more advanced. This comes from a seated position. So sitting tall up on your sitting bones, again, keeping that strong turnout from the very base of your hips and keeping your heels together, and very slowly lifting one leg without adjusting your torso. So again, you're digging really deep into the hip flexor muscles. You can get more information on my blog at www.lizbdance.com, and please keep sending me your questions. Thanks, guys.